This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
This is the Violent Professional Podcast. I'm Whiskey Mike. And David, you just smelled the microphone. You said it smelled like fish. Tell us about that.
I mean, it smells like fish.
Let me tell you a little story about what happened with that microphone. If we had to play Guess Who, this was like a mystery. My dog was in here playing tug of war with my son, and she backed up right into the fucking microphone. She's got a stinky puss, so she's probably going to go into heat here soon. So it is what it is. So how did it smell? Describe the pungent aroma.
Take a whiff. Take a deep. That's disgusting.
I'm going to have to add sound effects to that now.
Do it.
So, what are we talking about today, guys? It's been a minute.
It's been
few weeks
much
since
longer
all three
than
of
a minute.
When were we podcasting together?
All three of us?
Yes.
It was at my house, I think. It was
Like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 3
That
weeks
was when
ago?
we
Recently?
talked about plumbing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
plumbers.
We talked about a lot of stuff on it.
We did.
So I said the last one we were going to get into some creepy
Some
dark shit.
Macabre type things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have something
I do.
Let's get into it.
I do. You ever heard of Jane Toppin?
She sounds scary, but
David's like, I'd do her.
Yeah.
I did it.
But would you?
All right. So Jane Toppin, also known as, what was her nickname? Jolly Jane. Jolly Jane. That's kind of a weird nickname for a serial killer. Anyways.
Question is, was she jolly before or after?
During.
Okay. During. Fancy.
Jane Toppin, March 31st, 1854. She died on August 17, 1938. Significant life.
That's a long life.
Length there. Born, her name was Honora Kelly when she was born. I don't know why they changed it to Jane Toppin, or
It just makes fucking sense, Jane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Sure does.
You all right? Are you getting scared?
Oh. My eyes are fucking itching, though.
Dog? Are you allergic to dogs?
It might be. I don't know.
Dude.
So I think I was joking before, but I think she probably did put her butthole on that.
It's white.
What? It's white?
What?
It's got like fur on it. No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
Over the course of the fucking episode, his face swells up, and we're like, "Are you okay?" Like,
his eyes are just looking.
The episode's us jamming his chest with a fucking EpiPen.
Oh, he's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Jane Toppin, Honora Kelly, was an American serial killer named Jolly Jane. She was arrested in 1901. She confessed to 31 murders. Only 12 were confirmed at the time. Toppin is quoted as saying that her ambition was to have killed more people, helpless people, than any other woman man or woman who ever lived. I mean, who knows if she was successful in that? Because I'm sure there's killers out there.
Why
that haven't been
helpless
caught.
people though? Like that doesn't make any.
So I can explain.
There's a current serial killer thing going on right now, but let's continue this. We can talk about that one after.
Oh, a list of patients. Okay. Anyways, murders. In 1885, Toppin began training to be a nurse at Cambridge Hospital. She was well liked.
You got experience with nurses, don't you?
Bright and friendly. I imagine some of those nurses. Oh, that'd be crazy. Anyways, during her residency,
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. My eyes hurt.
he's gonna die.
Oh, allergies are such a weird thing because I don't have any. So it's like when people say it, it's like you're fucking full of shit.
No,
Like when the trees fucking like shoot their tree jizz out in the springtime, it's like you're full of shit.
For like one
But I know
week,
that
right before spring, I get like this just for like a week, and then I'm fucking.
I
solid.
feel
Does it
like
have
you
anything
say
to do
this
with the
during
dog?
fall too.
No, just the springtime.
Does it have anything to do with the dog, or is it?
No, I think it's the air, like because it was happening in my office.
He was
too,
tickling his butthole and he forgot to wash his hands, and so he.
I just put my head right over there, and when I make the mistake of farting, and the butthole hair gets in my nose, and then I'm just stuck like this all fucking day.
All right, so
Sorry.
Jane Toppin, she would become. Oh, she was very well liked. That's how she got the nickname Jolly Jane. She's bright and friendly. Once she became close to the patients, she picked her favorite ones. Okay, they were normally very old and very sick, so like hospice patients. Toppin used her patients as guinea pigs in experience with morphine and atropine.
That's weird because I'd be using it on myself if I had access to it.
Fucking, why am I wasting this shit on
She
that?
altered their
Just fucking jacking myself up with Special K.
She would alter their prescription dosages to see what it did to their nervous system. She spent considerable time alone with patients, making up fake charts and medicating them to drift in and out of consciousness, and even getting into bed and fucking them.
Whoa. That got dark.
Toppin was recommended for a prestigious Massachusetts General Hospital. Oh, she was moved to Massachusetts General Hospital in 1889. There she claimed several more victims before being fired the following year. Doesn't say what she was fired for.
Yeah.
I wonder what she was
probably
fired
murdering people.
Dipping into the
I've got to get rid of this one.
morphine too much or something.
They have maybe they started doing accountability. They're like, this.
Why are all the morphine?
All the narcs are gone.
She briefly returned to Cambridge, but was soon dismissed for administering opiates recklessly. There it is.
She's getting a little handsy with the fucking.
So she then began her career as a private nurse.
She wasn't.
You could do that.
Apparently, and there was a lot of complaints of petty theft from her patients.
She's stealing.
So she began her poisoning spree in early 1895 by killing her landlord and his wife, and then in 1899 she killed her foster sister Elizabeth with a dose of.
She's a pussy. She's just poisoning people.
Strychnine.
I thought she was fighting them.
Oh, she used strychnine. In 1901, she moved in with the elderly Alden Davis and his family to take care of him. And after that, oh shit. So she took care of this dude and then his wife, who she later murdered. Within weeks, she killed Davis, his sister Edna, and two of his daughters, Minnie and Genevieve. So she killed the whole family.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
Just putting it lightly.
So that's the one she was arrested for. Arrested for murder, October 29, 1901. By 1902, she had confessed to 31 murders. Jeez. Soon after the trial, journalists printed what was purported to be Toppin's confession to her lawyer, claiming that she had killed more than 31 people and that she wanted a jury to find her sane so she could eventually have the chance to be released. Why the fuck would they release her? Toppin insisted upon her own sanity in court, claiming that she could not be insane if she knew what she was doing and that it was wrong. But nonetheless, she was declared insane and committed. Wow.
Wait, so she wanted to be...
So maybe there was no, like, death penalty where she was? I would assume this is not the United States. This is over... I mean, if she went to Cambridge, right? Well, no, because she went to Massachusetts, too.
Yeah.
She might be from Mass.
It's got to be U.S. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
She was like a Dr. Mengele.
So she was committed for life in the Taunton Insane Hospital.
I don't think that's a good comparison.
Why?
Because he was like trying to make fucking like robotic cyborg half breed,
like cutting twins in half and shit.
Okay, you want to hear this part?
Yeah.
Guys?
That's, I mean, he was doing on crazy shit. She was just poisoning. That's kind of a pussy thing, is like killing someone without them knowing. You got to get in there with your hands. But like Dr. Mengele was doing something completely different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
An article in the Hoosier State Chronicles published shortly after Toppin's arrest reported that she would fondle her victims as they died and attempt to see if the inner workings of their souls through their eyes.
So they're like, oh, fucking die. She's like, you like that? And she's like just grabbing their balls, like juggling. He's like, I can't even fucking stop.
And she's trying to see their eyes to see what happens right before they die. She's like, can you finish before you die?
It's a race against time, really.
It is. Oh, she would bring for sexual thrill, she would bring some of the near-death patients back to life and then kill them again using a drug mixture.
Crazy. Yeah, she wants like power and control over people.
She's often considered an angel of mercy, type of serial killer who takes on like a caretaker role, attacks the vulnerable and dependent, even though it's taking their life. I don't know if that's merciful. She's like fucking torturing them, playing with their balls. I guess that's an angel, right? Play with, just fondle you before you die.
She gives them a rub and tug before they go off to the fucking
the
spirit in the sky.
Playing that song.
What an angel!
In the spirit in the sky.
What a crazy bitch! Like you think about the women, weird, like the craziest women you've dated. They're like, that's bad times.
It could always be worse. We always say this, right? Like it could always be worse.
Man. Jolly Jane. Sent off a lot of happy men.
Yeah, but if you're gonna get murdered, at least she was jerking people off while she did it. So there's a plus to that. If I was gonna get fucking poisoned, I would request a hand job. You know what I mean?
You just
you're gonna
rub me out first.
If you're gonna kill me, you might as well jerk me off.
Send me off with a fucking banger.
No, I'll do it myself. Then I'm running around all greased. I'm going, try to kill me.
She's just counting down until it fucking takes effect.
Yeah. So there's
How long before he just falls.
There's a current serial killer, 2 of them, I think, going on.
Shit.
One of them's killing homeless people in like New York City or something like that.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
I did not hear of this.
Yeah, they got video of them because you can't get away with shit like that these days.
Oh, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Can you look that one up?
I can try, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going around. I think when they're sleeping, he's fucking stabbing them or something like that.
Jeez.
Fuck. And they got video and photos of it. It's fucked up.
You know what stopped is fucking throwing things over bridges. Remember that was a thing for a while. Homeless people just chucking fucking cinder blocks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about bodies.
No, that's why all those
they stopped doing that.
Well, because there's giant fences on the.
Okay. Yeah.
But
cars getting throwing microwaves over the bridges.
Fucking crazy. You got anything from it?
It's loading. Oops. I spelled it wrong.
Some lot of dead air.
Automatically pulled up. It automatically pulled up a serial murder from the FBI.gov.
Read that one. Let's talk about murders.
This is a murder episode.
Pull this up real quick.
You ever been murdered?
As a matter of fact.
I got a story for that.
You ever been murdered? You ever seen murder? It's loading. It's very slow in here.
Yeah, it's a dead zone in here.
Fucking dead
You walk
zone.
2 feet over there.
Then you get a signal.
I'm not moving.
Like the refrigerator blocks it.
Goddamn Faraday cage up in this bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a lot of editors in here.
This is the best episode ever.
I know.
So what's going on, David?
What do you mean what's going on?
You're supposed to be working out. You came here to...
Yeah, I sacrificed my gym.
What were you going to do?
What do you mean what was I going to do?
What kind of workout were you going to do?
Just hit the bench.
Oh, this is
lift the plates.
It's just a
squat rack.
We don't want to do that one.
What's your normal routine in the gym?
The same shit. For like the past year, I've literally been lifting the same shit. So I'll do 3 sets of 205.
I mean, you don't got to get into plates. I would love for people to just think you're like this massive swole beast.
I'm not.
That's like,
right.
Show off your guns.
Yeah. I'm going to start jujitsu back up here.
Talk about jujitsu.
Yeah, well,
I had a hard time saying that.
Neither of you guys do jujitsu. Mark knows about jujitsu. He just
I know a lot about jujitsu, which is weird because I don't do it.
I know you do know a lot. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's like the adult version of karate that you bring your kids to. Because I've done
karate
shit about,
I've done jujitsu.
There's a common factor between 40-year-olds doing jujitsu all of a sudden. Like it's like you're a kid going to do karate or something.
No.
Debate me. Why is it not?
I think what
bothers this
you
is the no. This is the
yeah.
Let's not talk about other podcasts. Let's try doing the idea of where you try to debate me on this.
What do you mean? Okay,
I'm going to pose this question, and Mark's going to be the judge.
Mark's the moderator,
and so I believe that people become like. I'm just saying it's weird that the general age of 35 to 50 is that a common age group?
Just go over it. Just middle-aged men.
All of them are doing jiu-jitsu now. Explain why that is and why it's not like doing karate when you're fucking 12.
Well, so karate is not a real fucking combative. It's been watered down. It
absolutely is a real combative.
What are you talking anymore. About? No. It's been watered down like taekwondo.
Do you mean for self-defense or do you mean like...
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Watered down in what terms?
So I did karate when I was a teenager.
I would have loved if you just said it. Yeah. I did that before jiu-jitsu and you're like a white belt with a bunch of like 8-year-old kids doing karate.
No, they
you ever see that guy? You ever go to fucking karate? Like I brought my son to do karate when he was like 6 or something like that, and there was like a 40-year-old dude in white belt doing karate. Like
it's kind of weird, yeah.
Like in line with all these little kids just going, yeah, like kicking.
I don't know why people do karate. Karate is not a fucking thing. Like it's you don't get anything from.
You can
karate.
lose weight from doing it.
No.
Yeah, you can doing the form stuff. And,
so in karate they do things called katas, which are like fucking dance. You're not gonna fucking burn any calories doing that.
Sure
like I.
What about Richard Simmons?
What about Richard?
They were dancing to the oldies and getting fucking fat bitches all skinny
you
and
remember
shit.
fucking?
No, they never got skinny.
Tybo, right?
Tybo, yeah.
Tybo, what is it? Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks.
Was it Billy Blanks?
Yeah, dude. That was the
that
shit.
Guy, is he still around?
Probably not.
Didn't you? So your question is, why are so many middle-aged dudes getting into jiu-jitsu? Because you can do that. Like, you can legitimately learn how to fight at the age of 45.
But why is the specific group? Why is it that
you've
why is
given
it
me
happening now? It's taken on massive popularity.
What you don't know is there's a shit ton of fucking kids also getting into it as well.
I do know that.
But
I know
why
a lot
is
of
there
people.
A significant amount of middle-aged men that are doing is what he's trying to say.
It's an overwhelming significant amount of middle-aged guys that are getting into jiu-jitsu. And why is it different than little kids doing karate?
Because jiu-jitsu is like real. Like jiu-jitsu,
karate's real too.
You could fucking karate. You're not. Things that might have changed with karate, but you can't even spar in karate until you're at least, I think, a green belt, which is the BJJ equivalent to a purple belt. So, you can't you'll never get any hands on fucking,
that's not really what I'm saying. I know that
no, I know what you're trying to get at. You're trying to get at everybody heard fucking Joe Rogan 2 years ago. Now we're all fucking talking about. No,
I'm just saying that's not what you brought it up. I said we're not going to talk about other podcasts, dude. I feel that's a heavy contributor to why 40-year-old dudes are all doing jiu-jitsu. It's the same thing as why parents bring their kids to.
I like what I said before. I think there is a push in this country for people as this country gets like softer and softer and softer. There is the counterculture where people are looking for more adversity, right?
Yeah, so they're going and
hence why Jeeps are getting lifted and fucking shit's getting off-roaded. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Jeeps. I'm just saying. There's scared. With more Priuses, there's more fucking off-road. I mean, it's the culture is pushing back against itself. So I think there's truth to what you're saying. I just, me personally, I've been doing it now I'm going on like 4.5 years now. Yeah.
What belt are you?
I'm a blue belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
What belt are you in karate?
In karate, I left at yellow.
So
which is the karate equivalent to a blue belt.
When you're in a conversation with somebody, do you ever bring that up?
Mm-mm.
I'm a blue belt.
No, because that's fucking pompous and weird, and it's a low-ranking belt. Like, there's, I mean,
what's the next?
If somebody outside of jiu-jitsu doesn't know shit about it,
right?
They're like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm a blue belt.
No, I don't do that. Hold my beer.
Sup?
Right. So no,
you like talk down to everybody below you, and then when you meet somebody that's like higher rank, you're like, oh, I'm just you like all shit on yourself because
yeah, they're like, hey, what belt are you? They're like, it's fucking black belt.
No, like belts don't fucking matter.
Do they not matter?
They don't matter.
Why?
Because I've taken like 6 months off, and I'm gonna go back like soon, and I'm gonna basically be at the performance level of like a mid-range white belt, So your skills atrophy for sure after months.
What are the belts based on?
So
if it's not like
so it's at first jiu-jitsu from usually like white to like upper blue is going to be based on time on the mats. So time
based,
right? However, once you get to like purple, brown, and then even when you're just touching black, that is completely usually subjective to the coaches and the professors based on skill level. Yeah,
so there's not like karate where you have to do choreographed moves.
Shit, like I mean, I'll tell you from experience with karate, and I don't know how all. And by the way, they're called dojos, but how dojos fucking do it. You have to you're just straight up paying for your belt at some point. Like, I mean, it's like, you attend classes, you do trainings, you test for the next belt.
Yeah.
So you have to test in front of judges.
I remember when I was doing karate, I had to do, it was like getting whatever stripe on the white belt or whatever. This was when I was like super young. My mom wanted me to have some male influences in my life. So she was like, go to Master Bob's fucking Tiger Dojo.
He's got a fucking gun. Oh, man.
Master Bob.
I'll have you guys know this, okay? Back in high school, I did a project on martial arts, okay? And I went and interviewed different schools. Master Nas Black Belt Academy, United Taekwondo facility, and then what was Kung Fu Sansu at the time, right? Small school.
Those are all 3 different combatives, right?
3 different combatives, okay? Taekwondo, first
made
one.
me hungry for fucking Panda Express.
That's not racist.
This episode's brought to you by Panda Express. Please sponsor me.
It was all like Koreans.
Yeah.
So the Taekwondo place was United, or not United Training Center. It was like U.S. Martial Arts or something. It was down the road from Tanglewilde, right?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Korean dude who was on like the U.S. Taekwondo team, and then his daughter at the time was teaching. And I went to interview the dude, and he like wouldn't even talk to me. He was like, "No, you can talk to my daughter." And I'm just like, "What the fuck, dude? I'm here to talk to you." We talked on the phone. It's kind of weird. Anyways, they have a really big ego, especially being up. They're teaching these little fucking kids or like these teenagers at how to do Taekwondo, but they're like, "I'm not going to talk to this man off the street. You can talk to him," you know?
Yeah.
Master Na's Black Belt Academy. That ended up being a white dude that was teaching too.
Right.
It was super awkward. And everybody in there, you go in there, it felt like Karate Kid, so everybody's wearing like black gis, you know, for like what? Mm-hmm. Master Na's Black Belt Academy, you know? You think there's gonna be like a Chinese dude or something. Nope.
Yeah.
It was like old fucking Sensei Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I remember my karate instructor was an absolute prick.
Dude,
like
Kung Fu Sansu, right? I walk in this one, and nobody knows about that shit. You have to like look it up to see what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's this very small school. It used to be off of Pacific, next to that roundabout.
And it was Kung Fu?
Wasn't a roundabout at the time. It was Kung Fu Sansu, right? And I go in that one, and the dude doesn't even speak English.
Yeah.
He has students that he's teaching. Like one of them knew whatever language he was speaking. I think he was like Chinese or something. Anyways, something weird. But that one was probably the most legit as far as I could see as a combative art. They had like weapons on the walls and shit they were taking off practicing with. I was like, oh shit. But it was a very interesting culture to see for each of those 3.
Yeah.
And see how they interacted with people off the streets, because a lot of them were really pompous. Yeah. But you could tell that they'd get their fucking ass kicked in a fight, dude.
Yeah.
All of them.
It's how you know it's not a real fucking thing. Like
hence the karate place that used to be in
the
Black Hills Gymnastics down there. I went in there with my daughter. Yeah. Because she was doing gymnastics.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
And
near Costco.
Yes.
Right.
Kind of. It's across the freeway, over by my house. Okay. Anyways, I go in there and I'm, my daughter's doing gymnastics, and then we leave out the same door where the karate kids are coming in, right? And there's like these little like 4-year-olds coming in. They're learning how to do stuff, but there's like a 19 to 20-year-old teaching them, and they're showing them how to do the form. They're like, doing all the hard fucking just.
It's all power.
They're like their fucking neck veins popping out of their
board breaking bullshit, right?
Breaking the boards. Oh, that shit fucking irritates me.
I had to break a board for a test. It was dumb. Like
it's not even a
dumb.
fucking
for
real
jiu-jitsu
board.
or what?
No. You don't break boards in jiu-jitsu.
So when they're,
why not?
That'd be pretty funny. But all those boards, they push on the sides to flex them. It's not real fucking like hardwood.
It's super dried out.
It's like pre-cut, or it's like it's just layered so that you can break it anywhere on the fucking board. Yeah. They get these Taekwondo dudes to like spin 9 times before they kick it, and like, okay, or they kick it balsa wood. You know? It's fucking, it like floats away as they fucking.
Yeah.
You're so fucking strong. No, you're just tapping stuff with your. I mean, it's impressive. You can spin 9 times in the air, but that's not gonna fucking do anything to a board.
Yeah. So what would you say?
Break your foot.
What would you say karate's worth then?
Like, what is it good for?
Yeah,
I can't.
Losing weight, dude. I'm telling you.
No, because I don't. Compared to jiu-jitsu, like you can train off fucking. You can shave 10 pounds in like easily 30 days.
What is it good for?
Karate? I don't know.
Little kids to get
it's good for build defense.
I mean,
little kids to gain confidence and
paint defense.
Respect for elders.
I think there's
structure.
Structure.
Yeah, structure. I mean,
you're not gonna have sloppy kids going in there.
Yeah, but there's better shit than that though. There's jujitsu. Like, I know I'm got the guy over here talking about jujitsu, but it's like there's the real deal, and then there's that. You can dance, or you could really,
you can dance if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, so
you can do jujitsu.
Would you put your children in jujitsu?
Absolutely. Yeah. They don't want to, but yeah, so I don't push them.
They don't want to?
No.
You'd be like, you don't want to? Well, you're going to fucking go now, and you start beating the shit out of them. So you still haven't, like, answered the question. How is it? And Mark's the judge, remember? How is it not like kids doing karate in a garage? I mean, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
I don't. Do you know jujitsu though? I mean, not like know it, but do you know what it is? The difference between karate and jujitsu?
I know kung fu.
No, do you know the difference though? It's okay. Like they're two completely different things.
I'm just one of those people that didn't buy off on the fucking hype. I know it's worth something. I'm not saying it's not worth something, but
right,
it's good for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mark.
So here's the thing.
He's like, back me up, dude. He's a judge. He's supposed to be.
Mark knows.
He's supposed to be objective.
I know a lot about jiu-jitsu just because I'm a MMA
By the way,
fanatic, right?
I'm totally fucking joking, but I think this whole little thing I'm doing is because of 40-year-old dudes just started doing jiu-jitsu, and they're just saying, "Oh, I just wanted to start doing it." Get fucked. You did not. You're influenced.
They heard Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm just saying, like, my idea of it is, like, I'm not saying taking away from it, saying it's not this good thing for people. I'm just saying it's kind of like taking your kids and putting them in karate because everybody just starts doing it at a certain age. You know, there's a whole bunch of people doing it at a certain age. They just started within the past fucking 5 years. There's an uptick in jiu-jitsu memberships.
There is, and I've seen it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the reason for that, though. I think you're thinking it's Joe Rogan. I'm telling you it's the culture. It's our culture is what's driving that.
But who's driving the culture?
Well, politics. I mean, you can be,
and popular culture,
right?
What's
like
popular right now.
Well, hold on.
Well, hold on. It's not just Rogan.
I mean, it's
me. That's right.
Like the automotive industry, right? With the explosion of electronic vehicles.
Yeah, it's
hybrid vehicles. You've got an explosion of off-roading.
It's like the automotive industry. If like they listened to Joe Rogan and then they started transforming into fucking Autobots.
The automotive industry came with Sirius Radio, and they had Joe Rogan programmed in there. So all these middle-aged men that bought Teslas are like, I got to do some jiu-jitsu.
No, it's I don't.
Here's
know.
a question for you. I have okay. Why is there such a big contradiction between gi and no gi?
So
gi
is the
bathrobe, right?
Sorry,
is that a thing?
No gi is the rash guard.
Yeah, is there like
dude? They fucking hate each other, man.
I was gonna ask that. There's a conflict between those groups.
Yes.
So that's like any group of anything. It could be fucking like anything. People are gonna fucking hate each other. No, these guys don't fucking do that.
Absolutely. There's people that train in both. That's just right. What it is. But the two do not get along.
I know. I got to hear fucking Jacob every time he says he trains no gi only. It's like, okay, cool.
See what I'm saying?
No, I train in both.
So on that, Jacob talks about that, right?
He says he's no gi only, right?
What?
Because you don't wear a bath.
So here's the thing.
What is? No gi, right? Why would? So him saying that is he's. Like, take his name out of that, right? Like, let's just say general. Somebody says, no, I only do no gi. Is that them trying to say that they're better?
That's them going, I train a little bit harder. I'm a little bit more hardcore.
So why is that? Explain that. Because I don't understand. I know what the two are.
Why would no gi be more hardcore?
Yeah.
Well, because what you're doing, when you train jiu-jitsu, for the most part, a lot of it is you're utilizing clothing.
Yeah, okay. So
to execute chokes. And
in the gi, you have a lot of extra cloth to grab onto. You can utilize that. You're grabbing this section as you're completing your choke, or you're using that to choke them.
Yeah.
No gi, all you have is your limbs.
So what happens?
I would say that the gi would be more realistic to real life. So like if you're wearing a jacket,
like, correct,
or your hoodie, or I'm wearing a hoodie, like someone come around and I fucking would choke somebody with their fucking clothes.
So here's where the contradiction comes into play: is if it's strictly about combat sports, then no gi is what you want.
Okay, if you train no gi and you only train no gi, you are going to be 100 times more effective with a gi on. That's the thing. It's an accelerator.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So there's people that have trained no gi all their life. They go into gi and they get their fucking ass handed to them by a blue belt. Okay.
Right.
Like that.
But okay. I mean,
you can't correlate.
I will tell you this. Well, when I was training gi,
technique, but you're losing out on the techniques.
But I will say most guys that train no gi and then they go into gi, they're fucking way more scrappier.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, there is something to be said about it. Your game accelerates when you fucking learn no-gi.
When you have a lot of your techniques, your sound techniques with your chokes and stuff are going to be on point. But those other techniques you're going to be more aggressive because you got to go for chokes like that. You can't just grab
and you're fucking and by the way, no-gi guys are training from a standing position too, more than gi. Gi, when you train gi, you're going from Mike would see this and go, oh, a bunch of fucking he would like make fun of it, but what you do is you train from the knee position, because what you do is you minimize
I wasn't making fun of anybody. I was literally doing that whole thing because one person is talking about fucking jujitsu and all these 40 and 50-year-old dudes are fucking, I'm just going to start doing jujitsu, and it's totally my idea. Right. I'm making
there's truth to what you're saying.
Well, Mark hit it. It's, I talk about popular culture shit, and that's all I'm doing. It's not specific. I'm not talking about Rogan or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, one person said it, a lot of fucking 40-year-old and 50-year-old dudes, and they're just like, oh, I thought of doing jujitsu, and it's like, somebody put that fucking idea in your head, you fucking sheep.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying you did that. I think it's pretty awesome with you doing jujitsu.
Yeah,
but it's still kind of like karate in a garage.
To touch on the pop culture part, okay?
Yeah.
Why is this so fucking popular? Shakas, bro.
They do it in skydiving too. There's pictures of me out there going.
Why is it so popular?
I usually go like that, but
yeah.
No idea.
Well, like, I can only speak for my gym though, because like my gym's the only one I've trained at. But like,
it's everywhere.
It's a thing. Yeah,
it's not just here. And I would be like, because the Pacific Islanders that are here,
there are a lot of Pacific Islanders.
I think that's probably where it came from.
Do they do it elsewhere?
They do it elsewhere, all over the place.
Hang loose, dude. Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been training for 4 years now, and
you've been throwing shakas the whole fucking time.
Whole time.
I don't know.
Yeah, bro. He says, bro, he loses his
nose. I started,
honestly,
like I started just to like make friends with people. I had like Friday nights where I wasn't doing shit, and I'd been thinking about doing it for a year.
Remember at your gym and I kicked his fucking ass?
No, he didn't kick shit.
That's the inspiration. You said 5 years ago.
I need to fucking learn jiu-jitsu.
It's like, damn it, I was drunk and I got my ass kicked.
You were fucking scrappy, dude. You had like a solid core. I remember that.
It was. No. See you guys fuck each other up right now.
No, I don't think, we could turn this into a...
There's not much room in
here. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like, it's not, I was like tired of looking at jujitsu and not understanding what the fuck I was looking at, because like side control, like you don't think about that shit. You're like, it looks stupid and boring. Like grapple, like MMA was boring when they're in the clinch and shit. I'm like, fuck, when's this fucking thing gonna start fighting?
So you wanted to learn more about it just by watching MMA?
Exactly. And you know what I like about fucking MMA too is I like how motherfuckers who don't look at it as some fucking trailer trash ass drunken Monster Energy drink sport, and it ain't that.
Oh, it's technical as fuck.
Right. And I you know what? Like, yeah. So I got a little something.
Shaka, bro.
I was saying the same thing about lawnmower racing, brother.
Hey, you want to know something crazy? I used to lawnmower race.
Fucking dope. Tell us about it.
I had a fucking shirt. I was sponsored by Kmart, bro.
You were not sponsored by Kmart.
You want to bet?
When did this happen?
You know what I love about Kmart? Is I like that they were down to fuck around outside of PR, like our outside of like what is it? They weren't being politically correct.
Yeah.
And they made that commercial. They're like, you could ship your pants. So they had like this whole commercial. They're like, I just shit my pants.
I shit my pants.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That was so awesome.
It's been so long since they've been gone, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, when did they leave? Like, when did they?
Since you've been gone. Sorry. You were just naming off these song titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about your... This is awesome. Tell us about your lawnmower racing days.
I mean, I only did it for like a year.
And you were sponsored by Kmart?
I was, man.
Like the local one or the headquarters?
I don't remember where I was, if it was here or if it was down in California, but I had a shirt. Fucking, they gave me a hat. I would race around a track.
You sure? How old were you in California?
I was there for 8 years, so...
No, how old were you in California?
From 3rd grade to 5th grade.
And when did you do this lawnmower racing?
the following. I think I was like 12 when I did it.
So I have a theory about what's happening. You probably weren't sponsored by Kmart. Your mom was like, gave you a bunch of stuff. She's like, you're really sponsored. People really love your racing.
That absolutely could be.
And they were like, you just got to race around this patch of grass.
You know what it was? It's probably I like went to a Kmart race and they're like, here's a shirt, jump on the fucking lawnmower.
Is it just like a go-kart?
Essentially, but it's taller. It's a fucking like a.
It's a riding mower.
Riding mower.
Okay, gotcha.
It just doesn't have the mower on the bottom because you can detach those things.
The blade and shit.
So there was a track. I remember the track specifically. Like it looked just like a go-kart track. It just had higher piles of tires on the sides.
Was it on concrete or grass?
It was on concrete.
Oh, okay.
And they had little bridges to go over. It was fucking weird.
How fast would you go?
Yeah.
It was fast, but it wasn't like
go-kart
fast. Because you could tip off of those fucking things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like the real go-kart, I mean, the real fucking lawnmower races, you see those things whip like 60.
Yeah.
The go-karts up in Tacoma, those are pretty fast. Everybody was smashing and they were like gonna kick. That's what I thought was bullshit about that whole thing is they're like, if you hit this one more time, you're fucking out of here.
The track
it's like,
sucked. The carts are cool, but the track sucked.
People pay you $30 to go around there and you're like, no, you suck.
The poor one chick in the fucking race was like, she wrecked one time and they just fucking pulled her.
Yeah. Damn. So we brought our sons up there and racing around, you know, and Jax and his son and like somebody else, I think they were like smashing into this one hairpin turn because honestly it's not like a static fence, it moves around and shit, so it like got really fucking wonky around this pole and kids were just smashing into it and they're like, hey, just so you guys know, we're gonna have to pull your sons off of the thing if they hit that one more time. And this lady who was just like going there to have fun, she did it after the kids did it a whole bunch of times. They're like, you're out of here.
Twice,
and she's like, what? And then they kicked her husband out too.
Yeah, and the guy who was administering the guy looked like he was right out of parole.
Oh,
like,
bro.
He looked like he couldn't own guns. Like,
do you look like he did jiu-jitsu?
No, he looked like a fucking criminal. Like the guy was super sketchy.
Yeah, David goes, do you think this dude's been doing time at any point? I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
He looked like a straight up,
nice.
He was out on parole.
And the crazy thing is like, he probably has some order to stay away from kids, and he's just running this fucking go-kart track by himself.
Probably not around.
It's in order to stay away from women.
Next to the
next why he kicked her out.
Yeah. Next to the discount world. What's that place called?
Discount world.
Dicey. What's the future of fucking Lakewood gonna turn into?
It's like, that's what it's gonna be.
Lake Hood.
Like, it's a wasteland, dude. Like, it's bad.
Lakewood lowlifes, bro. They fucking run the shop.
Lowlifes in every
it's getting gentrified all around it, but they refuse to leave. They're just like, fucking build up around us, bitch.
You're talking like in the hipster areas.
The transit center that's right there. They're building all this nice shit, but there's still like the dumpy pawn shops and the fucking cash checking places and the different kinds of stuff.
Well, like Hilltop,
the bodegas and whatever.
It was crime city.
It was also gays AIDS.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's like super nice now.
I remember I went there for a breakdance show one time that we did for the community, and it was like
in Hilltop,
bro, right in Hilltop, like Martin Luther King Park, right there, right at the top of Hilltop.
Yeah,
and there was like shit going down on the streets, and we're like playing music and dancing. Like it was great. Like a lot of people came to watch, but damn, there was some shit going down on the streets.
That gang culture, dude.
Yeah. Or like right when we're done, we're like, all right, we got to leave, guys.
Yeah,
I'm the only white dude. It's just.
Yeah, I don't know. I go there every day. Like I'm going through Martin Luther. Yeah, Tacoma General is like right in the hood.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's Tent City there. There's fucking. There was one of the NICU nurses. Is it still all
gang like?
A little bit, not as bad. Yeah, but like one of the NICU nurses was telling me there was a nurse on the same floor 2 nights prior, like 2 nights ago, got fucking.
What's up? I do jiu-jitsu.
No, like she was robbed at gunpoint, like right in the parking garage.
Surprised.
Yeah,
it's
got her purse taken and shit. I'm like, yeah.
Speaking of armed robbery, some shit went down in Lacey the other day, huh?
Oh yeah.
Explain. You.
All I saw was...
You didn't see anything. You heard something.
No, all I saw was a fucking Thurston County Sheriff just mob past me, lights on. I'm
so
like,
that's when you turned it on?
That's when I turned it on.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I got to listen to what's going on here, Thurston County. And then all of a sudden I heard Lacey PD. I heard potential handgun. He had just fucking done the robbery and taken the purse from the chick, and the chick was still calling in. And then there was another witness that was calling in. So there was 2, Lacey and Thurston County, 2 different frequencies were both reporting the same thing. I'm like, okay, this shit's getting wild here.
So you said active. Was there a shooter?
They were armed.
They were armed, yeah.
So tell the story from the beginning.
I mean,
I'll piggyback off because I picked up where you left off, so I can
so
any parts.
Yeah. So what happened from that point on? You saw the cop going, and then
I'm just driving up north, and I just listened to the radio the whole time, and it's like.
So what did you do? You got on and told me.
Yeah. That was it.
God, you're fucking terrible at tearing.
That was literally it. Like you fucking.
So you got to listen. You got to think about this. That other people are listening. So it's like telling the story about what happened. Man. Like other people are listening. Like over there.
I just heard it.
So there was 2 calls that came in, Lacey and Thurston County. So sheriff and local police are both right. The dispatch is relaying the information. The information is that 2 guys in a U-Haul truck pulled a handgun on a chick and basically took the chick's purse, jumped in the U-Haul. I don't know where it happened.
It was at a grocery store on Martin Way.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I forgot the name of the it's some small grocery store. Like, probably independent owned, right?
Yeah.
So to piggyback off your story, I'm not trying to bogart it, but you're leaving some stuff out. David here gets on the radio and he's listening to it, and then he's messaging myself and Mike, and I'm picking up on it. He's like, "Hey, turn on your radio because you got to hear this shit. It's going down the street from you." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I turned it on.
I was going to get some shit from Target or whatever, and I see all these messages. I was like, I'll listen to them later. So as I'm driving, I was like, whatever. I have it on Bluetooth. I started listening. And it was like, oh, fucking. Like Jax is in the car. It's like, fuck. And I was like, oh, shit.
Whoops.
Yeah, I was like, read the fucking, I should know better not to put our DMs over.
There's going to be language, yeah.
So the U-Haul ends up driving through the Lydia Hawk Elementary School field. There's people practicing in the field at the time.
They were driving through the field.
They drove through the field, right? And that's where the U-Haul got left, all right? So I know that area well. I used to live in that fucking neighborhood, and it was terrible. Very crime-ridden neighborhood. Got my car broken into, my apartment broken into, got my car vandalized with spray paint. It was a fucking bad place to be. And so, anyways, 3rd Street, School Street. It was 3rd Way, School Street, and then Husky. Choker, Husky, all that shit. Yeah. It's just a bad area. So up by Lydia Hawk is where they left the U-Haul. Then these 2 dudes jump out, and they're jumping fences, going through people's houses, right? And then you told me, you got on there and said that they went into somebody's house and took their keys and took their Volkswagen.
Yeah, there was a Jetta. Then they went and stole a Jetta.
Man, these guys were moving around.
These guys were not. They're not from the area. Yeah.
One was mixed. The other one was a white dude wearing. The white dude was wearing all black, had white and black shoes and glasses, is what they said, right? So he's the one that got away. They caught the mixed person. I don't remember where they said they did, but they caught that one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go out for a drive here. I got my radio on. I'm going to go out for a drive. I'm not going to interfere. I'm just driving around to see, just to observe. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a hero. I'm just observing.
Old Mark Blart.
So it's like observe and report, right? So I'm driving through this section of Tangawild because I know the area. So I go straight to where they said on the way there, I spot like 80 cops out doing crazy shit, right? Jeez. So I pull into Tangawild and there's a,
keep going.
There's a guy walking down the street, right? And I pass him on School Street and he's kind of walking slow, right? He's got a black hoodie on, he's got some white shoes, and he's got glasses. As I pass this guy, I stop at a stop sign and the radio pops on. It says, we're getting a call about a person that fits the description. White shoes, black hoodie, glasses. And I was like, fuck, he's like 9 feet from my fucking Jeep right now, dude. Jeez. So I'm like, shit, do I stay here? Do I turn around just to like? I don't want to, hit the guy. It could be nobody.
Just imagine you get out and fucking go freeze or something. Citizens arrest, and then like he's the wrong person. It's just
that's exactly why I didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know.
So I pull forward and I turn around.
It'd be worth it though.
And I go like a back way and turn around in a cul-de-sac, right? And I go to where this guy was and I pass him again. There's a cop sitting there watching him, and I can hear the cop talking on the radio because I got the radio in my car or my Jeep, and he's saying, "All right, he's about to turn left off of School Street onto Martin Way." And I get out and I pull into the Winco parking lot. So I can see across the street where this guy is. I can see not Unimills, what's that? Day and Night Grocer to my left, and Winco is kind of back to my right. So I'm right next to Wendy's. And I'm looking across at this guy and he can't decide which way he's going. There's a bunch of cops around. This guy starts walking down the street east. west. Stops, turns around and goes east. And you can hear the cops like talking. Oh, you just turned around again. Oh, you turned around again.
Oh, wow.
So this guy didn't know where he was going. So they're like, okay, is this guy fit the description? Or is he just a normal dude? Like, what's going on?
Imagine he's wearing the same shit as that dude. And he's just like, I'm trying to get out of here.
When
and they're like, get freeze.
When I passed the guy, he totally seemed calm, like he was just walking.
Just no big deal.
No big deal. So it could. I don't think that was the dude. And they never approached him either. They didn't. They never went and talked to that guy. Okay, which is kind of odd to me. But I watched across, and I heard on the radio them say that there was a cop that pulled into the day and night right there, and he said, "We need more units over here." So I watched all these fucking units converge onto the day and night grocer. Right in the same little building, there's a vape shop. So one cop gets on there. He's like, "All right, 2 guys just went inside the vape shop. One just like took off his pants and ran inside." I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Is this?" David's like, "Is that a separate incident?" I was like, "No, I think it's part of the same one." Yeah. And I'm watching these cops like poking their heads up over the fences and stuff. I'm like, that's a good way to get your fucking head blown off. You know what I mean? You got to be a little more discreet than that, or just go in with force. You know?
Yeah.
But they're like, no, trying to look over the top, try to see if there's somebody back there. So
bunch of rookies.
Instead, they converge on this vape shop. And they go inside and they're like, okay, I hear on the radio, the owner said there's nobody in there. I'm like, okay, the dude's obviously covering, right? 2 dudes go inside the vape shops. Nope, nobody in here. They're like, okay, see you later.
It'd be funny if you like popped out and be like, they're in there. I just watched.
So the cops can't really go in. It's private property. And if they don't, they got to, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Unless they actually can see the person in there.
They have just cause or something or probable cause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the cops don't end up going in there, and they back off of that whole thing because they're like, I don't think it was the culprit because there was 2 guys in this incident. Okay? Yeah. So I'm like watching all this shit go down. There's cops passing in front of me in the parking lot just so they can get it. You know, and there's people at the bus stop right there. Kids walking down the street. It's just chaos, right? It's starting to rain all crazy. So I'm listening to the radio, and they end up calling off the search for the second guy. Okay, this person supposedly has a clown mask.
Yeah,
is armed. And in a residential area, and they're calling off the fucking search, right? That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, even if it's getting dark, that's crazy to me.
Not on Mark's watch.
So, no, I'm not that. So I'm no Phoenix Jones. Okay.
You kind of are.
So I'm like, all right, whole thing's over, and I'm about to leave, right? And then I'm listening to the radio more, and they had switched over to their normal channel stuff. Yeah. And I hear something about the dispatch lady gets on, and she's talking about cows are loose in the Walmart parking lot. And a cop responds and just starts fucking
Lacey's
laughing,
losing
dude.
its fucking mind.
The whole world's losing its mind.
People are bored. They're just like, fuck, we've been trapped inside for 2 years.
I go to leave, and I'm like taking off towards Walmart because I got to see this shit, right? Yeah. So I'm going down that way, and they're like, we've cornered a suspect. And I look to my right, and I take a video for you guys, and I send it. And they're talking to this dude on the sidewalk who's wearing all black. It's another white guy. Fucking white guy's just getting profiled out here today.
Yeah, so, it's a hard life for a white guy, I'm telling you.
So
you're going to talk about white privilege.
They didn't have him guns pointed.
We always fit the description.
They were just talking to him on the sidewalk, so I'm sure it wasn't the dude. Yeah. But I ended up going to Walmart, and there was nothing going on there, so it was probably a different Walmart that was going on at, because we got a pretty wide area for Thurston County. Right. So ended up going home after that. But that was a little exciting. I didn't get to do any jiu-jitsu or anything.
A little bit of criming going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the whole world's fucking upside down right now. Like, it's crazy.
I'm just questioning all the people still wearing masks.
Absolutely.
That is like beyond, like
they want to feel safe.
So the government came out with a specific date, and they're like, "Hey, in 3 weeks, we're going to end this mask mandate."
Like, I don't know. Okay? I don't see what the problem is. Huh?
So all these people are like, "Okay, on that date, we can stop wearing our masks."
Yeah.
On that date that they announced it, I was like, I haven't been wearing mine for a long time.
Wait, this is still going on?
No, I don't. Yeah, like if you're still wearing a mask, you are good on you.
No, not good on you. Fuck.
But you're part of the fucking problem.
No, not part. You are the fucking problem at that point. When they announced it, when they said on this date you can stop wearing your masks, everybody out there should have just been like, well, fuck, I'm not doing it anymore. If they were, right?
Right.
I mean, whatever, you can wear a mask, right? But it's I don't care if they're wearing masks. It's just curious to me. I'm like, why are you still doing that?
Right. Because it's safety, and there's a large percentage
what
of
they
people,
think is safety.
right? There's people that would not be alive 10,000 years ago.
Absolutely.
I hate to say that, guys, but these are people that would have been filtered out of the gene pool.
So
right?
You've heard this. I'm sure you have. I've used it before, but I think it's Mark Twain said it's easier to convince somebody. What is this saying? It's easier to lie to someone than to convince them you lied to them in the first place. And so maybe it's a thing of, if you want to pull that up and see what the actual quote is, maybe it's a thing of like that they're so dug into this idea that there's deadly things floating around here, aka germs.
Yeah.
That they're just like,
right.
I don't believe that this is over yet. So they're like so dug in. They're like, this is, I mean, yeah.
So remember prior to 2020, how soft, I mean, we live in a pretty soft civilization to begin with.
Yeah.
When something like COVID hit, that was like the real fucking like thing that like got basically people.
I don't remember this reaction with the one before this. What was the
SARS, N1H1?
Yeah, and that like
bird
fucked
flu.
up people. That like really fucked up people here in the States. And I was like, I don't remember anybody freaking out about it.
Swine flu.
I don't remember anybody freaking out about it.
No.
2008 swine
because
flu.
we
you didn't even hear about it. You're just like, oh, that's happening.
Nobody had to get a fucking pig vaccine, right?
Yeah, no one wore masks
because it wasn't even. It was
okay. You ready for the Mark Twain?
Yes.
It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to still live in the lie. Yeah. Because
I was thinking maybe that's the thing. It's like they've been like whatever, it's real. People, we all got it before. And then after having it and like it's I still don't believe it warranted that sort of reaction if it's purely not political.
Yeah.
But then there's people out here that are just still doing it, and it's like, okay, now if you're following the science and you're saying that which is another fucking thing people throw out there. I looked at Twitter the other day and everybody's like, but the science says, it's like, are you fucking all science? Are you all scientists? Like, I don't.
Right. If you
like,
have
what's
to,
the science?
If you have to preface science with the science, you're not following science.
You know what really frustrates me is when they say the science has changed. Science doesn't change.
No. Sociology changed, politics changed.
You're goddamn right.
But
the
fucking
science doesn't change.
The truth never fucking changes.
Science can change under the scientific process, right?
There you go.
Then it's a theory.
Yeah. So, but that's, I mean, everything's a theory unless they prove it in trials and stuff like actual scientific data. But even that will change. But it can't change in the period of a fucking year.
You're right.
Or a few months. You know what I mean? Like it can change over time. Like when they think the fucking world is flat. And then that stopped for a while, and people were like, "Oh, it's round." And then all of a sudden, somebody writes some shit on 4chan to fuck with the people to see how they can do it. And now there's a bunch of fucking flat earthers. Like
they probably
like I mean, never ever
like most of those people that listen to this podcast.
Never forget how people acted, how businesses acted, and how governments acted.
That's right.
This is something that for the fucking ages, next 100 years. You fucking teach your kids this shit. This is what people are capable of, what businesses and what governments are capable of. Like Australia and Canada, who'd have fucking thunk it?
Dude, and the hardest part, I think, is that it's going to, like, we're all going to fucking forget, right? Like, it's just going to kind of slowly drift away that this time happened, but it was 2 years out of our lives.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
and
more than that. And it's like,
I think we'll be talking.
And if we were just, like, honestly, I can't speak for you guys, but it really wasn't that big of a deal other than, like, I had to homeschool my kid, which was better than him being in fucking regular school.
An inconvenience for me at best. It was nothing, but
Well, in the content, you know exactly what the kid's learning at that point too.
Yeah,
you're not blind to it.
Well, I have a horrible parenting plan, so I never got to see.
You know what I mean, though. Like, you see the way we were handling it, and the way our kids were going through stuff, and we were in charge of the content.
Yeah, we
were provided the content, but we could fucking pick and choose if we wanted to, honestly. But teaching them a certain way, we'd see those Zoom calls or listen in, and we're like, okay, I know a better way to do that shit. So I taught my daughters some stuff.
Which is interesting because you think like the public school system would maybe go down that route where they provide the parents who can do that, like the curriculum.
They did. Yeah. There is an online. There's an online school specifically made out of this whole COVID thing for parents and students that wanted to continue with it.
Oh, okay.
So they made that a whole thing.
Homeschool.
The North Thurston School District created a school just for that. So which is the thing now? Which what you were talking about, possibly homeschooling.
Could you guys continue to homeschool your kids
absolutely.
if you wanted to?
It was actually, dude, honestly, like I'll be real with it. It was actually better.
Really?
Like there's some benefit to like as far as my free time.
Yeah.
To be able to be creative and do the stuff that I've been working on. When I'm able to like just, you know, drop them off at school and then just sit and work on stuff.
Right.
But there's, you know, finding out some of the stuff that they're teaching there, like the stuff you brought up and you had to ask the teacher, like, hey, what is this shit? Like, and I don't want to get into it just because of where it could lead, but, like, yeah, just like some of the stuff. And me now, after you said that, and then like my son was saying something wrong when I was at, how'd school go, buddy? And he's like, what'd you learn today? And all that stuff.
Neo-Marxism?
And then, yeah. And he was saying it different. He wasn't saying neo-Marxism, but he was like saying it some other way. He wasn't saying that, but it was like some other thing. And it's like, wait, why are they showing you fucking media stories like this? Like, what is the purpose? Why are you watching CNN at school? Like, what the fuck is the purpose of that? Like, teach my kid how to fucking write.
Right.
Like, write English. And add shit together, like do that and nothing else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then there's a lot of filler time with like recess and other kinds of shit. But then I look at it like, you know, with me traveling all over the place, it's like if he was in a homeschool, because I don't know how it was for you, but it's probably the same, is they just go finish this by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And you just take your time and do
information they sent out at the beginning of the week or the previous week. Do all that homework and turn it in by the end of the week. Yeah. And they got sections for, okay, on Tuesday we're going to go over section 2, Wednesday section 3, and so on and so forth.
So I look at it like this, like what's the big fear of taking a child out of school?
There is none.
The social skill,
rely on the
social
system.
construct of the whole thing.
It's weird that other people teach our kids. You know,
I only said hold on because you guys were just jumping all over each other. It's like social school or social school. It's like, for me, it was like, well, if we take you out of school, you're not around other kids. But then we found out what it's like 2 years with not being around kids. And then now they're back. And it's like, man, I'm not one of those people that go like, man, there's so many bullies here. We need to go have a meeting about this. Like, there is bullying and stuff like that, but I think people are going to find their way, regardless.
Yeah.
And there is some people being tougher individuals from that stuff are coming up. And I'm not saying there should be bullying. I'm not saying that, but
I think there should be bullying. Sorry.
That's because you're a fucking piece of shit.
That's part of the curriculum.
Yeah. The bullying 101, and the teacher just goes, man, you look like shit. And the kids are all like, put your fucking head down, bitch. And they're
He's
like
just kicking out everybody's chairs.
Yeah. You gonna eat that grilled cheese? And like
taking food.
Mike wants to lead that fucking class.
Yeah. I'm gonna call this quiet time. I'm gonna walk around with a bat, and if you fucking look at me,
he's just gonna fucking just intimidate kids.
But I look at it like this. I was thinking like, well, he's not gonna be able to. He's not home. Okay, what do we do? Homeschool him, and then he's not around other kids to learn social skills.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's kind of why I did it and whatever. And I'm not really one of those people that go like, let's pull him out. Or people being bullied, But then, there's stuff you can do. Like up here, you can just have your kids do wrestling or whatever, which is what I'm doing. And because he wants to, he's doing wrestling, and he can get those social skills that way and actually work out and stuff like that, kind of like jiu-jitsu. But cooler than fucking karate.
But is it though? Oh,
wrestling?
Yeah, it is.
It's cooler than
karate is, wrestling's way cooler. Karate is so fucking lame.
Well, wrestlers people who start with wrestling and then go to jiu-jitsu, they got a stronger base, dude.
I always have a problem with wrestlers. Yeah.
It's all the grappling, just that strength,
and like,
man.
I don't think that it really ever leaves you, because I did it for pretty much my whole time in school, and then I stopped after I graduated high school because I was like, man, fuck that, I just want to fucking do nothing. And then I was like, I gotta fucking work.
Nothing.
Make these pizzas.
Yeah, that's really one of my big problems in life, is like, if I'm not required to do something, I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking sit here and do what I want.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go better myself. I was like, I should be working out, but instead I'd rather drink. I was like, you can do other things. Like you can get them like I think in in New York when I was there, you didn't have the option of going to do like a sport unless you were a part of a school. At the time I was there was nothing available. It was like you had to do it
outside
in
school.
Yeah, and you had to do it like this is the grade when you could start doing sports. And it's kind of like that here in some with the school sports, like if you're competing for like high school or junior high or something like that.
Yeah.
But they have tons of options. Like they just have clubs you can join, like this wrestling club. Like I didn't even like. I just asked him, hey, you want to do wrestling? Try it again because we tried it when he was younger, and he wanted to, but. It's one of those things is like the choice between homeschooling and keeping your kid in a fucking place where they literally have become politically armed in ways. And it's like they're just doing it a slow burn on people. I don't think it's full blown like the Russians are invading America through the education system, but they might be. But I think it's more of like these people are just trying to fucking virtue signal on such a massive scale that it's fucking up a lot of things and pissed me off. And you should, like everybody should, is like that, like my house, the tax that I pay on each tax is fucking funding this bullshit. And even if I like take my son out of school, I'm still going to be funding that shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I kind of went off on a tangent there.
Each person in this county pays like $6,000 to $9,000 a year on education.
Yeah.
That's where our taxes go.
Yeah,
per person.
It's
and
fucking
we ended
ridiculous.
up teaching our kids for 2 fucking years almost.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like
get a tax fucking rebate
Right?
from the government on your property taxes.
Oh no, we can't now because they sent it all to fucking Ukraine. But
Did they? Okay.
yeah, we didn't
$14
get
billion.
shit back, man.
But what a novel concept, right?
Right.
Right.
There should have been something like that. Like what are we funding here?
Yeah.
Teachers are.
Exactly.
I'm teaching my
And I'm
son.
sorry, I'm going to be the first to say this, but not all teachers are fucking heroes, guys. I'm tired
I
of fucking
agree.
hearing that
I agree
shit.
with you.
Just because you love being around children doesn't mean you're a fucking good teacher.
Some of them don't love being around
And
children.
I'm talking about the elementary school level here. I'm not talking about middle and high school. It gets worse the higher you get up because these motherfuckers just want to get a pension at the end of the fucking rainbow.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I don't know how far you want to go down this thing.
Schools
but-
of Rainbow.
Right. Well, no, I mean, you know what I mean.
Holy shit, where'd that fucking rainbow come
What the problem is, I'm not going to name names, but like there is social agenda programs from third party.
Who are
fucking,
you yelling at?
I'm like, these motherfuckers are listening, and I know they can hear me. Okay.
Oh shit.
No.
These
Who, George Soros is listening to the Violent Professional?
No, but what they'll do is
No, it's
they'll
Klaus.
bully the
Maybe
fuck
that's-
out of the school districts. They'll bully the fuck out of the state. At the state level, their programs, and what they'll say is they'll negotiate a certain amount of the curriculum, right?
Mandate. It's not a negotiation.
Between the outside curriculum that's being sold to the school district and the actual superintendent of public instruction, they will meet somewhere in the middle. They won't
yeah.
adopt the entire fucking program. Right. So right. And I'm talking about you, Ragdoll, motherfucker. If you ever, you're a fuck. Excuse me. I'll leave it at that. Anyway.
Who are you talking to?
You know what David does on
I need
when
my
he
own
podcasts?
podcast.
Well, whenever you want to do that, when I get back from this next trip, but he loves talking shit to people that are listening.
Yeah, it's weird.
I just pretend that they're listening so I can get it off my chest.
Man, this guy is fucking
Like,
yelling at me.
fuck
you.
It's
Hey,
a
fuck
shit show.
you, Brian.
And you guys are fucking pussies. You are.
Just straight
you're a
out.
fucking superintendent
Yep,
of
I'm not
public
listening to this shit
instruction
anymore.
at the superintendent. I'm not naming districts, but yeah, you guys are all pussies. You really are. You don't fucking stand for anything.
Superintendent of Public Instruction. Is that what?
Right. You're
OSPI.
afraid. You guys are all
Office of,
fucking
yeah.
afraid. You don't stand for anything. You're fucking with the minds of fucking children. I don't know. And parents have to take way more responsibility for what their fucking kids are learning. And
Yeah, I said this the other day, and
sorry, I'm getting angry now.
yeah, it's like
I do jujitsu.
maybe we talked about it, but it's like people don't take responsibility and accountability of their own life, but they want to impose their fucking will on other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've
like-
been weaned away
Yeah.
from responsibility. Like fucking Netflix is $9 a month. Like, and life is so fucking easy and comfortable. I know I'm zigging and zagging here, but you get my point. My point is that we live in this fucking existence that's
Yeah, dude.
no,
Stop.
but sorry, I'm sorry, dude. But like,
Don't touch his knee either.
but we earned it. Like we earned it, you know. Like, this is what you get when you don't take responsibility. You get shit shoved down your throat.
Yeah, I've said this a few times, but it's like, I just, with everything going on, it's like, I hope they get everything that they hoped for. All this hope and change. I hope they fucking get it. And it's just, they're change. Drowning in it like they are now. Just it's like one of the best things is like, you wanted all of this shit. Now fucking chew on it. Yeah. Choke on this shit. Of how shitty it fucking is.
How much unnecessary crime is happening at the misdemeanor level in Seattle. They don't even know how to deal with misdemeanors. Yep. And that's fucking insane.
We'll sit on the fucking rooftops and watch everything burn with a bucket of popcorn and just laugh maniacally.
You got to blow someone's fucking brains out and commit a felony for law enforcement to literally. Okay, well, that's a clear crime. Now we're fucking.
And it has to be an extreme crime where somebody got hurt for that to matter too. It can't be staging a fake hate crime because you can just get off on bail.
Yeah.
After you've been fucking sentenced.
Right. Dan Satterberg, right? I'm naming names here. Like,
who the fuck is Dan?
Dan Satterberg is again, I'm going to fucking say this in every episode. I may be wrong, but I believe he is the King County prosecutor who's responsible for, for picking and choosing what to prosecute and what not to prosecute, right? And the city attorney
in King County.
Right. And this is, right. And so Ann Davidson, who's the Seattle prosecutor now, who is a much better alternative to Thomas Kennedy, who was an abolitionist. Like, you guys, if anyone in King County, which I doubt anyone is listening to this, you guys don't know how big of a fucking missile you guys dodged by not having Thomas Kennedy. Like, anyway, I'm done.
All right.
Sorry, I need my own shit, dude. I got to get my own podcast going. Like,
you could do this too.
Just keep contributing to this fucking thing.
Dude, we're fucking listening, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, I'll keep.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna when I be like, "Hey, David, you want to come on my podcast?" He's like, "No, fuck that. I need all this content for my shit."
You guys talk about like masturbation and shit.
No, you came up with that idea. That was literally, he's talking. Do you remember a few weeks ago? He's like something about all of us jerking off in a room together in a fucking. Was it
that was definitely not said?
Yes. Maybe that was me.
Maybe.
Anyway, do you guys want to? I've got VR headsets now.
Let's go. That was us.
Was it us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was right. Fuck.
Yeah. God damn it. That was our weird shit. Yeah. That's when everything runs together.
This Saturday, I'm going to take the kids to Pike Place Market. We're going to go to the old fucking magic shop that's from like 100 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm taking
Last
the kids
time I was
there
was probably like 12 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to just get a little bit of a vibe of the area just to see if it's as shitty.
Make sure you bring food because you can't go in any place without the fucking Vax passport, dude.
Is that going on still?
You cannot enter the stores without it?
You cannot enter a dining establishment as far as I know.
That's
some
good
stores
to know.
can, I'm sure.
Well, we were going to go to Dick's and we were going to get a whole fuck ton of burgers. So, yeah.
I don't understand the infatuation with that place. It's fucking terrible.
Really?
I went there one
Dick's
time.
Sporting Goods place?
No, Dick's is a Seattle-based burger joint store. They're in and out.
It's like, what is going on?
Cheap burgers.
Like the last time I was there, it was fucking terrible. The burgers were garbage.
Yeah.
There were some weird fucking people hanging out outside.
But, okay, so real quick, what's your opinion of In-N-Out? Other than overrated, just put that off to the side. As far as a cheap burger, it's a good burger. How does that compare to In-N-Out?
In-N-Out's 10 times better.
Than Dick's? Okay, I'll buy that. Okay.
Right. Dick's was just sloppy and gross.
Okay.
It's like out of a shack in fucking Seattle, dude.
Okay. Be like the taint of a homeless
All these people
man.
are going to be like, "Oh, Dick's is fucking delicious."
That's literally how they season it. They take the patty and just wipe it up the fucking.
Dude, that's what they look like, right?
Yeah,
they're fucking terrible.
Oh God, Seattle.
He's like, I'm gonna go there and get my kids.
Have you ever done the underground? Have you ever done the underground thing?
I have, and that's fucking cool.
Is it cool?
Is it?
Okay.
It depends on which tour you do, though. I went into this place. It's like a bar. Not a dirty bar. It's a really fucking nice bar. There's like a dirty one down the street that you can go to and get like some haunted underground tour. Don't do that one.
Okay.
I went to the clean bar.
No
it's
ghosts.
like right in the fucking square, and you go inside and you purchase tickets. They're a little expensive, but you learn so much history going through that thing, dude. It's so cool. Like,
I've never done it. I want to do it.
Down in the underground of Seattle, there's actual buildings, and they sit you down. Like there's like a spot where they sit you down and you watch this little movie thing about like what they did, how it became, underground Seattle, blah, blah, blah. there's a section you're walking by this old whorehouse. That's what they call the whorehouse.
Underground, right?
Underground, and it's a fucking wooden building underground.
Nice.
That's dope.
Stairs going up. It's crazy looking.
Yeah.
And like, there's sections
I'm gonna go do that this
where
weekend.
there's like big
openings
where people can have banquets and stuff. People do weddings down there. It's so weird, but the history down there is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Just to know about all that stuff from back when it.
So just if anybody doesn't like know the history of Seattle actually burned down like over 150 years ago or something, and they built the city that you know now on top of the original city.
That's not why they built it on top of the other city.
Oh, what was it?
It was a plumbing issue. Oh, literally.
But isn't that why the streets are like the way they are?
I think they built on San Francisco.
Maybe, I don't know. We have to look it up.
That's why the roads are so. But there was a great
weird, Seattle fire, though, wasn't there?
There was a fire.
Yeah,
there was a fire, and it caused a lot of damage. But the plumbing issue is what caused them to raise the streets.
Okay, maybe rising water or something. Okay, I don't know, but it's a really fucking awesome city. If it just wasn't for a bunch of shitty people, you know,
it's my fault. I keep.
I turn mine off because I'm a good person.
Yeah, well, you know,
dude, I think I have dog hair in my nose.
Do you?
It's like tickling
my
nose.
You?
And with that, let's fucking call it. You guys got more to talk about? Seattle or something?
No. I need my own podcast. I could go on for. I
was just saying because like I'm getting dog hair on me too. I should probably clean this fucking room up.
Yeah.
There's dog hair in the ceiling. I'm like fucking cobwebs and shit. Yeah.
Let's have a vacuum party.
Yeah. Well, I just vacuumed before you guys got here. So anybody that has heard the podcast before or heard me talk about it, like this is the Pacific Northwest Seattle Pacific Northwest podcast studio, and then I got one in Arkansas, so I float back and forth. But this was vacant for so long, it's got fucking cobwebs, and I gotta fix it up a little bit. So Mark,
dude, it's coming together though.
Yeah. Once I get this stuff all moved, then
my house is the alternative.
No, yeah, of course.
The fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got them for $20, man.
That's
Did you really?
A fucking deal.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we.
Dude, how do you guys get hooked up with like?
Dude, the
shit.
What's the
we
state?
Fucking look for it. We don't just settle on the first.
How do you look for shit,
David? They have in Tumwater. They have the estate and government sales building.
Place.
Oh, that's over.
It's
off
not,
of
well, it's not.
L&I.
Yeah, it's not an auction. It's you'd go there and they just have all of the
old shit,
old furniture from government buildings. That's where it goes.
Is that kind of where you got that?
Dude,
yeah, that's where I got it. It has, and even has.
We need to frequent that place and look for cool shit.
Yeah, there's tons of shit in there. There's all kinds of weird stuff that you're like, the government bought this. Talk about like, what is it when governments? Yeah.
Well, you know what I want? I want one of those fucking super dope ass trunks that you got that you could like throw it in the ocean case? And it'll fucking float.
That's like a $6,000 case.
Is it
meant
really?
To hold a missile.
Oh, really?
I only have that because my grandfather helped.
That is dope as hell.
My late grandfather helped patent that fucking case.
Oh, really?
And he worked for the company that built them. So, yeah, that's why I have that.
That's fucking dope.
He doesn't have any more.
What's up?
Is that supposed to go off?
That probably died.
Sweet.
The video?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because the fucking power cord is not in there.
It never was recording?
It just went out. It just went off.
Okay. It just went out. It doesn't matter. I don't put this shit on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, you haven't uploaded in over a month.
No, it's been over probably a year, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He just take the clips.
I just use it for clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation today, guys.
Well, let's act like the audio portion's still going. And do you have anything to say, David?
No, but we should totally like go to the Seattle Underground thing and like
let's fucking do it. Let's like fucking do it. And in fact, anybody.
So here's the problem.
Yeah,
I think they might try to ask us for vaccine passports.
Oh
let's
yeah,
just try it anyway and go see what they say.
How about you call them and fucking ask them before we drive up there, David?
God.
Well, and if they do, then we'll just do something else.
You know what I thought
in King County.
Yeah. We'll go visit a homeless site and fucking see what's up with the boys.
Let's count how many needles we can find on the ground.
We just go up there with a boombox playing Dudes on Vacation. We're like over homeless people.
A couple cases of Coors Light, dude.
Weird to drink underground.
Dude, what I was thinking is there's this, my son watches this YouTube guy and he just urbexes. He just goes around in like, it's in Europe and shit. So there's way more abandoned stuff there.
In King County.
Yeah. So I think we should find some of those places and go and
fucking urban explorer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, I feel like this plan is never going to get off the ground.
Oh,
we've already done it once.
That was
it was
awesome.
several times in one trip. But
that was dudes on vacation.
That
man.
was.
When are we going to do another
awesome
dudes
time.
on vacation?
We've got
people want to know.
We've got to just schedule it out.
Yeah. The hardest part for me
free.
right now is that I just started this new position at work, and I'm just going through the motions with the whole scheduling thing. When we start our rollout, it's just I don't know yet. So that's
dude. You know what we should do is we should Trent.
I'm down.
We should.
I can't do that though.
Why not?
Because I don't have one.
You gotta get one.
Don't abuse me, Mark.
Okay.
Dude, I
don't need a fucking Trent. I can just I've slept in the back of my truck bed. I'm good.
Yeah, you can do
I
that.
put my tent in there and
so David's got a bed cover, right?
a tonneau, yeah.
He can just slide in.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking
If you had one of those,
You guys are wasting money. That's all I see.
if you had one of those those drawer things, the second
He just
deck,
lays
you
it
just
and
go and we
closes
push
it.
them in there.
Yeah.
It's like a mouse in a matchbox.
Didn't Daniel sleep in there one time, or was that you?
He slept in my Tundra.
That's what
I
it
have my
was.
Tundra,
You had a
yeah.
tonneau cover for that too, right?
I did. I had a big lid.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, I've slept in the back of this thing. This thing's dope. You guys are dumb. You guys are spending way too much money on that
Yeah,
bullshit.
fuck you, man.
Just fucking live your life.
I turned my phone off. Fucking lie, dude.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, but I was saying we should truck tent, bed of your truck camp, and then we could go urbex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some places.
I'm free anytime.
No, you're
not.
fucking not.
No, you're not.
No,
How am
you're
I
fucking
free?
not.
I could easily take a few days.
No, you can't.
It's like we have this conversation every few days. Hey, what's a good time for you? Man, I'm
Literally-
good any day, except for
Dude, I would easily make a few days off. I can skip
Well, we
gym
need to-
for...
we're like, hey, you guys
I
want to do
need
this on
time at
Monday?
least.
You guys
I
need to
can't do
plan.
Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we need time to
Oh,
be
that's
able
fucking
to
funny.
go and we'll do this.
Yeah.
We'll urbex. We'll pick a spot, maybe 8 hours away. Or how far was that trip we did?
It was pretty far.
It's more than 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to a different
We went
section
into
of the state.
Montana. We went into
Idaho.
right. Did we get to Montana? We were right.
No,
by
we were
Montana.
talking about it, but we didn't.
Touch the bung of
Dude,
Montana.
we went into Burke, the town
Yeah.
of Burke. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Riveting.
content there, bud.
So,
So
Cool.
anyway, you got anything else?
no.
All right.
I hate everything.
That's you seem like you do today, by the way.
No.
I think it's partly because you're not wearing your glasses and you can't see anything either.
I'm
So,
blind as
yeah.
shit right now.
Blind ass.
Yeah.
What's up, Mark? You got anything else?
Shock us, bro.
Sagas. I'll say this. I'm not going to talk about it because I said I wouldn't. But this is one of my flaws is that I'm so excited about shit that I put it out. So if you want to know what's happening and what I'm talking about, if you've gotten to this part of the episode, myself, Mark, and Peter are doing a thing, and you can go on patreon.com/violentprofessional and fucking see what it is. And that's all I'll say about it.
It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking dope, man. It's so rad, and I'm so excited about it. It's literally consuming all my fucking life right now.
But you're having fun.
I'm having a fucking blast. It's not the part that's it's not a blast to sit there for hours and edit audio, but it is a fucking blast to listen to.
Yeah.
And I realized that all of the time that I've spent on podcasting and like doing these little fucking things, it really was like setting me up for success with this whole thing. And so that's all I got to say about that. So if you want to check out something fucking cool, I don't know why I was looking at the camera that's fucking completely dead now.
I kind of glance over there every now and again, too.
Mark, put your goddamn dick away, dude. Why are you doing? Oh, it's
Mark.
fucking gross, bro.
It's got a fucking Prince Albert. Ugh.
Oh, dude.